Raheem here at Justin Fortune Gym on Sunset. Listen, this place has been a madhouse the last couple of months. You're back at home. Talk to me about what it's like after such a huge event, something that captivated the world really, and then coming back home when it's over. How do you readjust to being back here and doing your thing?
It's just relaxing. It was an extremely stressful camp. And obviously you know the results of the fight and why it happened and stuff, so now it's the fallout and the Monday morning quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, you talk about, you know, the fallout of the fight. Obviously, we're talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, and you're the conditioning coach, so you were responsible for getting Manny ready, not just physically, but, you know, in ways mentally as well. You've worked with him for so long. Talk to me about, like, the lead up to the fight, what it took to keep Manny on focus and ready and get ready for this fight so that when he stepped in the ring, you know, he would be on point.
Well, I mean, getting Pacquiao, because we've been working together for so long, getting Pacquiao in shape is you know, it's what we do. Unfortunately, with the injury, it limited what I could do with him. So pretty much I couldn't do any upper body work. So we had to concentrate on all leg works and leg movement and, you know, agility and stuff like that. And that's what restricted us was their injury. Other than that, you know, he comes in fit. Man, he's an athlete and he knows what he has to do, and we come in fit, ready for the fight.
Were you at all concerned about his ability to spar leading up to the fight? Like you said, the injury limited what you could do conditioning-wise. So when that came around, like we're getting 2 weeks out from the fight, did you feel like he was ready? Were you concerned at all that he wasn't going to be able to perform?
Both, I mean, you know, both Freddie and I had concerns about, he's obviously about his sparring and stuff, but at that stage, I mean, there was just so much invested in the fight and, you know, over $300 million and stuff like that. So it's a very, I mean, it's pretty much you're fucked if you do and you're fucked if you don't. So, and as an athlete, as a fighter, Pacquiao will never quit. No fighter quits. I'm never pulling out a fight. You know, fighters go in the ring with the attitude is you have to stop me to stop me. Either kill me or finish me off because I'm a fighter. And fighters don't admit to how bad an injury is. Anything like that. That's what fighters do. I mean, I walked into fights with, you know, injured and flus, and every fighter, every athlete has. So to start complaining about, oh, you know, you shouldn't have fought, it's like, really? That's what we do. We fight, and you know, it's not like, it's not these days like everyone's like it's too soft. It's, oh no, I'm going to pull out of the fight. So it doesn't happen like that, you know.
During the fight, it seemed like in the fourth round is what they're saying that he was injured. Did he express to you that he was having problems with his shoulder? And is there anything that you can do during a fight like that that can help him?
Yeah, fourth round he came back, said to Freddie, I mean, I was obviously in the corner too, so my shoulder's done. And that was it. I mean, and then what do you know, as a trainer and as a team, you know, you can't go out there and force your fighter to re-injure his shoulder. Whatever you say in the corner, physically, mentally, he can say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it and I'm going to throw it. But your body won't let you. It's a self-defense mechanism. You know, you can throw it to a certain extent, but your body won't let you throw it and injure itself. So there's very limited you can do. And Fred's not going to sit there and try and push his fighter to re-injure it more and more and more. And you know, after the fight, you'll go operate on 2 days later. But it re-injured. It tore some more. It tore like another 0.5 centimeter, which in the shoulder is a lot. So, you know, there's good and bad. Had we had the injection and the painkiller and stuff like that, maybe he would have torn the shoulder completely off, and that would his career would have been finished.
Now, I realize you're no orthopedic surgeon or a doctor, but...
No, I used to be. I played one on TV once.
Well, I'm going to ask you to play one more time. You're going to reprise your role.
The surgeon he has is L-Trash. I mean, you know, the guy's the best in the country. So he puts together baseballers and stuff like that, and they do some horrific injuries to their shoulders, and when he gets them back in shape, they're at 120%. So, you know, I mean, the guy's an unbelievable surgeon. So.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Dr. Fortune. Do you feel like, you know, after the surgery, at his age, you know, Manny's in his upward 30s, that he will be able to not just come back and fight again. We're all pretty sure he could get back in the ring, but will he be better? Will it actually improve his performance?
Listen, as long as the surgery was successful, and as long as he does the rehab, which is the most important part, does the rehab properly, then yeah, he'll be back to where he was. I mean, like I said, Dr. Eltrash has assured us, and he's put together a lot of pro athletes. He says, yeah, he'll be at 100%, 110%. His shoulder will be absolutely perfect. But again, you have to do the rehab, and rehab's very painful.
Are you involved in the rehab, or is it after the rehab that you get involved?
I'm going to go and make sure if he does it back here. I mean, Manila has professional athletes and professional rehabilitation experts as well. So, that's what they do. So let's handle it. Let's leave it to those experts to do that, and then fix his shoulder, and we'll get back into fighting.
As strength and conditioning coaches go, a lot of times the responsibility for the fighter's endurance and power is on you. One thing that people weren't talking about was his endurance was very good during the Mayweather fight. He was able to find Floyd, trap him in the corner, get him against the ropes. Like he was there.
He was there. I mean, I thought Floyd was better than that, and I'm not taking nothing away from Floyd because he's a champion. But I was expecting a lot more out of Floyd for that on that fight. Listen, the guy's got one arm. When it comes down to it, you can talk as much shit as you want, yada, yada, yada. But, guys fight, you're fighting a guy with one arm. So I thought Floyd would have moved more. I thought he was just a little bit better than that. So, but,
With that said, do you think, power-wise, 140 is a good weight division for Pacquiao? Is he headed there? Because before this fight, before Mayweather came up, really, it seemed like the camp was talking about he's headed down to 140. He's going to end up campaigning there. Is that a good division for him? And can he find power there to get those knockouts back?
Of course, he's got power there, but he's moving again. It's an elite class of fighter, so knockouts don't come that easy. I mean, these guys are the top of their game. They're champions and stuff. At 40, he's super strong. At 47, he's strong. The benefit Pacquiao has, he can make 35 if he wanted to. It's ridiculous. The guy's metabolism is ridiculous. He can make 40, he can make 47, so it depends whether Floyd and them want a rematch or where they go. That's up to Freddie and Manny and Aram and that, and we'll sit down and discuss where he wants to go. But, I still think Floyd has something to prove, that, you can beat a guy with two hands, because with two hands, I think Manny still beats Floyd. You know what I mean? It's not, it's just they're both good athletes, take nothing away from Mayweather, but, it's just the way it is.
Now, Manny Pacquiao is the biggest star that you have in your gym, but he's not the only star. Denis Lebedev just fought. Talk about knockout power. This guy is a beast. The difference between training someone at 147, for instance, that's Pacquiao, he's quick, he's fast, he's agile, his power probably comes from that speed and timing, and then a guy like Lebedev, who probably isn't all of those things, but he's still able to catch guys moving. How is it different training a big fighter with a big natural punch and a small fighter where you have to, find the power?
Well, cruiserweights and heavyweights are a whole different animal. You train them totally different. Their rest periods, their layoffs, their build-ups to fights are much, much different to the little guys. Training someone like Lebedev, who's not a beautiful boxer, but he trains at 120% and gives it his absolute everything, and he's ridiculously strong. So he's a pleasure to train. I love it. He's a good guy, and he does the work, and he works very, very hard. And what he does, when he gets his wins, he deserves his wins. Been with him now for 3 or 4 fights. He's had 3 or 4 knockouts. So his next fight's in September, November. So we'll get another one there. But he's a good to train. Then I got Ik Yang. Yang's a Chinese 140 pounder. He's Freddie's fighter. These are Freddie's fighters. He wins, he becomes the first Chinese world champ.
While you were in the camp, we saw you in the corner, of course, and you're wearing it now. I've been curious about this, Heroes of the Storm. Obviously, you're a hero in a certain respect.
Jesus.
You know, you've weathered a storm, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty inspiring to a lot of people. So that's like no joke. That's serious business. And watching you go through that and coming out on the other end super strong has really been an inspiration to everybody. Like, those are the kind of comments I get when I talk to you. I think you know that. But I do want to ask you, what is this about? Is this like, what's going on here?
These are my sponsors for the Pacquiao fight. It's Heroes of the Storm. It's a video game, comes out next month, or this, the 2nd of June. It's by Blizzard. It's a whole bunch of Blizzard's characters over the last 20 years, and you battle it out together. It's like they do Call of Duty, they do World of Warlock and stuff like that.
Are you a gamer?
I have been involved in the game. They sent me a console and PlayStation stuff, and so yeah, I've been playing it. And dude, you get into it. It's actually a really fun game. I'm not a gamer, like really. I'm 49 years old, and I'm sitting like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old getting in this bloody game. It's actually very good. It's a lot of fun too. So,
is it hand-to-hand combat, guns, weapons?
It's everything.
So is it a story game? Like you walk through the game, you meet other people and have to kill them, or is it like two guys facing off?
And stuff like that, and it's actually a really interesting game. When it comes out, the people enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not a gamer, and I'm old, and I actually enjoy it a lot, which is really saying something.
Well, before I let you go, let's talk about what's in the future for some of these heroes in their storm. Lebedev, you said he's fighting in September. You know, there are a lot of fighters in and around his weight. For instance, the Crusher Kovalev is up there.
Kovalev light heavy. Dennis is cruiser. Marco Huck's a good fight for Lebedev.
Speaking of Huck, if I read this correctly, I think Roy Jones is fighting Huck.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know if Huck's scared of Lebedev or what. But Dennis is a champion, and Huck's a champion, and Roy is not a champion. So because of Roy's past and who he is, why the hell should you get a shot and not Lebedev? You know, I mean, what's the point of that? And honestly, Huck beats the shit out of fucking Roy. Huck's a friggin' animal.
This is what I was going to ask you. Obviously, you want Lebedev in the ring with Huck. I've talked to Lebedev. He wants that fight. So it's disappointing because I think the fans would much prefer to see that than Roy Jones. But as a conditioning coach, what do you do with a guy? If a guy like Roy Jones walks in the ring, he was a legend. You know, some people think he's one of the best fighters of all time, probably top 5.
He was absolutely, definitely one of the best fighters ever. But, you know, what do I do with him? I tell him to pack up and go home. I mean, what the hell are you doing fighting at your age? I mean, you know, it'd be like me trying to come back. Why? Unless you need the dollars, which is, you know, then what do you do? Just do your thing. But jumping back in the ring at that age, this is not an old guy sport.